Hello, I'm Steve Spatafor, Quarry Supervisor for Hooks and Crushed Stone.
Stephanie Stiles, Injury Prevention Specialist with Fit for Work.
And today we'll be going over tool ergonomics and choosing the right tool for the job. Today we have Milwaukee's M18 and M12 tool setup. Many other companies make similar tools, and we're just going to review the weight of the tools and when to choose the right tool. So all your sites probably have one of these. It's a go-to tool. It's reliable, but it's also very heavy when you match it with a 6.0 battery. So this tool provides about 1,400 foot-pounds of torque. It's quite heavy, and realistically, you don't need it on half of your jobs. Milwaukee has come up with a stubby, half-inch M18 matched with the same battery. It's more than half the weight of the larger setup. 600 foot-pounds of torque, good for anything 3/4 and under, and Steph's going to demonstrate.
Along with how heavy the tools are, one of the things that we look at is how our wrist is actually positioned. We did a research study at the Shelley Company within CRH in Ohio, and one of the things that we learned was holding a heavy piece of equipment or a tool at a deviated angle, so outside of the neutral position, actually led to a 33% decrease in strength. We decreased our ability to even hold and grip the tool that we were working with. I think it's important to note that not only is the weight going to change that and the way our wrist is positioned, but the grip friction between our hand, the PPE that we're using, our glove, and how we're holding onto the tool is going to make that change also. If you have PPE that's fitting properly, it's going to be a good tight squeeze. You won't have to over grip. You add in sweat from your hand, you add in some oils or lubricants from the equipment that you're working on, you end up having to grip even harder. Over time, this wears into the wrist, the hand, the elbow, the shoulders. It's one of the important reasons that we're looking at making sure we're not using a tool that is too big or too heavy for a job, and downsizing what we're using if it's still providing the right torque. Sticking with a lighter tool that will still do the job is more ideal. If you can take a look at the tools that you're utilizing and decide, is this the right tool that I'm using, or am I just using it because I always have? That's going to be a big important change for your overall ergonomic and body health.
And at the same time, to touch on that, there's many options out there for battery sizes. This is a 6.0 high output. This is also a 6.0, and it's quite a bit lighter. They make 5.0s, 3.0s. So make sure you're choosing the right battery matched to your tool, because that's going to add a lot of weight and unnecessary stress on your wrists. Going to an M12, this is also a half-inch drive, 400 foot-pounds of torque, 6.0 M12 battery platform. Just once again, plenty of torque for around your plant. 5/8 bolts or shorter, or smaller rather. Moving on to, everyone's seen a Sawzall. Once again, we all probably have these at our plant. Two-handed tool, put a battery on it. Once again, it's quite heavy. Milwaukee has gone with a one-handed. This is an M12, also get it in an M18 platform, and it just allows you to use one hand. It's more ergonomically correct, less strain on your wrist, and your hand is free to do whatever you need to do holding whatever you're cutting. Okay, so here we have a 1-inch drive, air-operated impact gun. Extremely heavy, extremely awkward, and you'll have an air line attached to it, creating a trip hazard. Gun has about 2,200 foot-pounds of torque. And here we have Milwaukee's 1-inch drive, M18, quite a bit lighter, no hose attached, and 1,800 foot-pounds of torque.
Hey Steve, when will you choose this one over this one?
So 9 times out of 10, we're gonna pick this. We do not use this gun much anymore at all. Here we have an electric die grinder. We all have these laying around our plant. Great tool at the time, but times have changed. This is an awkward tool to use. It's corded. You gotta pull on an extension cord typically. Once again, you're creating a trip hazard. Milwaukee, once again, has come out with a M18 die grinder, one-hand use, and quite a bit lighter than the corded tool.
How long have you had that one now?
We've been using these for about 2 years now. So here's your typical angle grinder, M18 platform, and we kind of want to show just a cutoff wheel on it. We all use these cutoff wheels. For cutting material, this is a bulky tool and not always necessary. Quite a bit of kickback with this tool, and M12 platform, Milwaukee's come out with something much nicer, much lighter, one-hand operation, and even reversible, so you can keep the sparks away from you. Way less kickback, has a brake in it. just a better overall tool depending on what you're doing.
I think one of the important things to think about when we're talking about kickback also, when we're gripping, research has shown that about 30 to 40% extra grip force is occurring when we're holding onto any tools. So we talk about kickback, we're going to go above that 30-40% just to be able to stabilize the tool. Tools like this are going to create way excessive forces when we're gripping. That's where we start to see the extra wear and tear occur. That's where we start to see the musculoskeletal injuries that are showing up, and that's where we start to have muscle fatigue and soreness. There's actually no winning combination to hold this tool. One wrist is going to be deviated outside of neutral position no matter what you do. These events will occur when we're operating tools, when we're operating equipment. That's why we really try to focus on reducing forces wherever we can. So Steve did a really great job at explaining that not all of the tools that we're using are the best for the job. There are better tools out there. Every year, every couple years, when you go through the catalogs, it's really important to just make sure that you're using the best equipment for ergonomics, not just kind of refer to this is what has always gotten the job done and it works well. I think that we forget that it can get better and we can continue to improve what we're utilizing. I think some of the things that we also talked about today was how hard we're gripping the object as well as how heavy it is. Some of the antiquated tools that we're using are just way too heavy. So the heaviness of it, how we're gripping it, the gloves and PPE that we're utilizing, the sweats and the oils that build up, these are all factors that really add up throughout the day, throughout the week, month, year. This is the type of stuff that causes the long-term chronic wear and tear that we experience. Proper tool selection. Not only is it important to find the right tool when you need it, but the availability of the tool, and if it's charged, the batteries are charged, where it's hidden and where you have it located. I think that one thing Steve does a great job here at Hookset is actually having everything organized and ready to go when he needs it. He doesn't have to select a backup tool because the one he wants isn't available to him, and I think that it's a good opportunity to show what a good organized vehicle looks like.
So it's extremely important that you have all the right tools for the job and that you're 5S'ing your tools and everything has a place and everything is in its place. Here we have a battery selection. I have smaller batteries, larger batteries, my M12 platform. Everything is there. It's fully charged. There's a charger on board and I don't have to go searching for anything. It's right at my hand's grip. And same thing with my tools. Everything is in order, it's always there, it has a spot, and I can always grab the right tool. I don't have to waste time searching for tools. So 5S'ing is important, having the right tools is important, and be smart about it because if you choose the wrong tool, you're only hurting yourself and causing damage to your body, and it's not worth it.